Okay. So, boys and girls, I brought us together today because I brought one of my favorite chapter books. And I wanted to share a new book with you because I heard that you're going to be reading chapter books too. Is that true? Yes? And I wanted to share with you some things that a chapter book looks a little bit different than the books that you might be reading in your book bags, okay? And I wanted to introduce to you a character named Harry. Can you say, hi, Harry?
Hi, Harry.
And guess what? Harry, he is horrible. His name is Horrible Harry, moves up to 3rd grade.
I've read this book before.
Have you read a Horrible Harry before too? And do you know that Harry, he was a 2nd grader. What grade are you guys in?
2nd.
Yeah, and you know what grade you're going to go to next year? 3rd, just like Harry. And I want to give you a little bit of an introduction. Like, I want to introduce you to Harry because there's a lot of Harry books. Do you want me to show you how many? This author, like when you guys do writing, look at all these Harry books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books, right? And I want to show you what kind of person Harry is because in the first book, it really talks about his personality. And you know what Harry does? He plays tricks on boys and girls. He's mean, he plays tricks, and he does a lot of things that are not very nice, right? And Harry, this type of book is called realistic fiction because it could be real, but it's fake. The settings in school. Where are you guys right now? Where are you guys? School, right? And a lot of these books, they could be at home or school or different places that are familiar with to you too, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about Horrible Harry. Look at the cover here. This is Harry. You see Robert? This is Harry, okay? He has a best friend named Doug. Can you say hi, Doug?
Hi, Doug.
Harry and Doug are best friends, right? They play together, and when you start reading this book, it's really important to know, like, who's talking? So let me just read you really quick. I couldn't wait for 3rd grade in room 2B. Same class, same teacher, same room. And most important, Harry and I would be together for another school year. So the narrator who's talking, it's Doug, his best friend, okay? So it's through his eyes that we're gonna be seeing what's happening in the book. And can I tell you, like readers, when you pick up a book, I always like to know, like, is this book gonna be good? What's this book gonna be about? I like to read the blurb in the back. So I'm gonna read you a little bit about what it's about, okay? 3rd grade rocks! 3rd grade brings lots of surprises. But one thing that hasn't changed, Harry and Sydney, they're still sworn enemies. Do you know what an enemy is?
Yeah.
What, Robert?
A person that are not friends and they do tricks on each other.
So Harry, and let me show you who Sydney is so you could get a look at what he looks like. This is Sydney. And him and Harry are enemies. Like Robert said, they don't get along. And they're gonna do tricks on each other. Their relationship only gets worse when Sydney accidentally kills Harry's pet spider. What do you think Harry's gonna do?
Play a trick
on Sydney? You think so? How many of you guys think he might play a trick on Sydney? Yeah, right? So, while on a class trip to a scary old prison and a creepy copper mine, Harry comes up with a horribly funny way to get revenge. Revenge means when he wants to get him back. So when you're reading, you're going to think, what's going to happen? Okay? And something I want to show you today is, you know, when you're reading, and this book has chapters. Look at the chapters here. Do you see here? Right, Robert? It has table of contents, right? Are we on Mars? 2 things in 3rd grade that didn't change. A deadly event. Things get rocky. Murder in the mine. Sydney disappears. Oh, so you see how your brain's already getting ready? Like, whoa, I kind of think, like, what's going to happen? These chapters in the book, right? You're going to have to remember each chapter, each chapter, each chapter, each chapter, and put it all together. When you guys were reading, like Frog and Toad, these chapters, you didn't have to put them together. Each chapter was its own story. Problem, solution, the end. Problem, solution, the end. Problem, solution, the end. You didn't have to remember each one to think about what the whole story was about. In here, something I did in your book, after every chapter is done, you see this first chapter, Are We on Mars? I put a Post-it here. So you could just jot down real quick, chapter 1, and put something important. Then I just marked the next chapter you're gonna read, right? And then I put a Post-it here at the end. You're gonna just jot down something real quick to help you remember what it was about. You think you guys could do that? Yeah? Okay. You ready to read about Horrible Harry?
Yeah.
Okay, Robert, go ahead. You guys can start. And then I'm gonna just come in and see how you're doing, okay? As a reader. Go ahead, you guys can start. Did they introduce the character? Yes? Okay, so do you know who this is? Harry. And you know who this is? Doug. And can I show you something? One way that I try to remember who the characters are, you see this book here? Another Horrible Harry. You see my Post-it? I label who's who because in this book there's so many characters. Okay, so you want to try that? I could give you little Post-its, so when you get to a part where they introduce a character, you could just write their name and put an arrow. Okay, go ahead, you could try that. There's some little Post-its for you. So what's happening right now?
Like Harry and Doug, they went outside to look at the school's name.
Yeah.
If they're at the right school.
So how come they don't think they're at the right school?
Because there's a lot of different teachers and a lot of different rooms.
Oh, so is it kind of confusing to them? So do you see how the chapter, right, the title's called Are We on Mars? Right? Because Mars is a planet that's like far away, right? And it's kind of like, what? Where are we? Right? So they're kind of thinking that. So I like how you're thinking about like Harry and Doug. They're a little bit confused, right? Okay, keep on going. What's going on so far? What are you thinking as you're reading?
I think that a lady was sitting and they thought it was next Foxworth, but it was not.
So, because they went and they're like, wait, you're not Miss Foxworth. Who are you? What are they thinking?
They're thinking that they're in the wrong school.
Oh, so does this kind of seem like it's weird, like, right, that they're at the wrong school? Good, Helene. Okay, keep on going. Let's see what happens after that. Robert, what are you thinking about right now as you're reading?
That they were looking for the teacher that they were supposed to have for 3rd grade.
Yeah, and can they find her? Right? Miss Mackle, like, where is she? So how's that making them feel, Harry and Doug?
Surprise.
Surprised because can they find her? No, right? And it's 3rd grade, so they're thinking, huh, where did everyone go, right? So that I was telling Jocelyn right there that, look, are we on Mars? Right? It's kind of like, whoa, are we on a different planet? What's going on? Things are weird, right? So you see how the chapter, the title, right? It kind of gives us a clue, like what this is going to be about. So let's see what happens. Okay? Keep going. What was this chapter? What was important? How to remember?
I need help. Don't even know word.
That's okay. Just try your best. Yeah. So what's important? Harry and Doug, or you can start with they. Doesn't matter.
Harry said, look at these boulders outside the door, just a bit. I said, these aren't real rocks.
Can I stop you guys real quick? Can I stop you, Robert, real quick? I wanted to show you something that I was showing Stephanie. Can I show you? Can I stop you real quick? Okay. Do you know how I forgot to tell you that in Horrible Harry, there's so many characters, right? He has a lot of friends in his class. And one way to remember, like, who's your friend in the book, who's who, is to use, see these little Post-its here? And you could label, this is Harry, this is Doug. So if you guys can turn to this page right here. Do you see the line? Where the line, can you turn to this page right here? I'm going to give you a Post-it. And on this Post-it, do you think you could help me by putting it right here? And then we can label like this, who is who, by putting an arrow. And we could put here, this is Song Lee. She's first there. This is Mary, right? And this is Sydney right here, right? And then I could put the little Post-it here. This is Doug. And this is Harry. Like that. Okay? And this is, anytime you're reading a book, it could help you remember who the characters are too. Okay? So here, let me give you a Post-it. I'll give you a big Post-it. I'll give you another one, okay? And you can put right here who the characters. Okay, that's okay if you got two. You could put who the characters are right here. Huh? Okay, you could use a little one if you want to. So do you see what page it's on? It's on that. Right here, Robert. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. You could save the big Post-its too. So you could put an arrow. Yeah, you could put a, sure. So this one is Sydney, right here. Yeah. So this guy right here, that's the enemy. That's Sydney.
Is this Mary?
And this is Mary, yeah. And Song Lee has the short hair. So this guy is Sydney, right?
I forgot what's Sydney.
Song Lee. So this is, anytime you're reading a book, you could put this. Song Lee.
This is Doug, and that's Harry.
Doug. And here, yeah. And that's his teacher, Miss Massel. So you can label them if you want. But this is just to help you remember as we're getting to know the characters, who's who.
I know
Okay?
all the characters.
Great. Yeah, so if you know them already, then this is just one way to do it, if you forget. Okay, boys and girls?
What's her name?
And her name was Mary, right here. And then Doug, his best friend. All right, great job. And then after you're done reading, then you can put on your Post-it what was important. Okay? Great job, readers. Thank you.
On the bulletin board, it said third grade rocks. There were lots of rocks on the display table, but we didn't.
And Jocelyn, since you said you already know who they are, you don't have to label them again. You could go to your Post-it here that you were finishing up on what happened in the chapter that was important.
There were Song Lee, Mary, Sydney, Ida, Dexter, and Miss Matt. Harry ran away and they had sleep. So, chapter 1, Harry and were. I was just as glad to see her go. Welcome to third grade. I can't wait to hear about her summer. I guess summer is one year.
And if you forget, just kind of look back at the pages to get your memory going again. Harry and Doug were what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see? Anytime you forget, you could just look through to see. Just in case you want another Post-it.